he continues that quest in earnest here tonight. This Tail the Tape is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. The 27-year-old Marvin Vettori, the 28-year-old Kavin Holland.
All right, guys, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Touch gloves, let's do it.
No glove touch.
You hear the cameras clicking, but
man,
every time we get ready for a main event inside this Apex, it seems as though things get exponentially quieter.
Are you gonna miss it?
I'm excited to see the fans in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna miss it too, though. But I want to see fans. I'm gonna miss it.
Marvin Vettori, minus 335, the betting favorite. Kavin Holland comes back at plus 260. This fight clock is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. Vettori out of the southpaw stance in green. Kavin Holland, the orthodox fighter, in black. Of course, Vettori was to face southpaw Darren Till tonight, but Till out with a broken collarbone, and in steps Kavin Holland.
Holland's throwing some from distance right now. Vettori's going to have to find a way to counter punches. He does a great job of slipping and then ripping when guys try to get at him with the hands. But Kevin's kicking at him, so it's really making it hard for him to land his shots. He did land a good left hand just a second ago.
Holland's takedown defense holding up through 2 minutes.
That was a great attempt by Marvin Vettori, but that's where he needs to go. He needs to go to the legs, right? Holland's such a tall guy that trying to just drag him to the ground will be very difficult.
And Holland has talked about adding muscle mass to really dealing with a lot of guys who are physically stronger and bigger.
And Big Mouth coming out for just a second, talking to Vettori as Vettori's on that takedown.
Feels like he can take advantage of Vettori if he does posture up.
When he postures, got to use it.
He seemed to intimate in our fighter meeting that he felt like there would be offensive opportunities in that position, but
yeah, he said he wants to use, he said he wants to use the omoplatas and all that stuff to create angles in order to create space. So far, we haven't seen it. Close guard right now.
Great job by Vettori, though. He's keeping his hands inside. Look at how he pummels, Cruz. A lot of people miss that when they're watching the ground and pound. You miss the pummeling on the top guy. Look how Vettori just constantly is working his hands back inside before he throws his strikes.
And look at Brunson.
Oh, my goodness.
That was beautiful.
That was
by
a
Holland.
beautiful change by Holland.
He went side to side with his hips and created like a ball roll over the top. I mean, that was just having good body awareness there by Holland. Beautiful stand-up.
Ooh. Big left hand from Vettori. Holland appeared to eat it pretty well. Just a totally different look in Kavin Holland's eyes tonight.
Yeah, he's angry.
Vettori with some late pressure here in round 1. Round 2 coming up on ADC. Round 2 and round 1, Kavin Holland unofficially outstriking Marvin Vettori 37-28. 1 takedown on 2 attempts for the Italian Vettori.
Kevin landed some good strikes. Felt like Vettori with the top control. Landed some good shots on top. Holland got a great escape. Very competitive first round. Oh!
3-2 down the middle. Beautiful. Ooh, that was like a hook kick. Faked the low kick and he went high with it, landed it.
Pretty good left-hand counter from Vettori after Holland had landed one.
That's Vettori's move, man. He slips and then he just comes back with 2 or 3 punches. That time he used it to get to his takedown, and now he's got Holland down on his back again. And we saw this in the last fight. Sadiq Yusuf was able to use the guillotine to try to force his opponent to defend. And by making him defend, he was able to get back up. But Marvin Vettori was able to get out of that guillotine attempt.
Now, as the exhaustion starts to set in, will Holland be able to use that sweep again? Will he be able to create a new opportunity?
Or will he just accept the bottom position again?
Accept it?
Right? A lot of times, he's long. They just accept, okay, this is where we're going to spend the fight.
Yep. That's why it's so important to stop the takedowns.
not only because you don't want to give top position, John, but also because it discourages your opponent from continuing to attempt them.
Yeah. Well, no such acceptance from Kavin Holland, as you see his bodily movements, trying desperately to leverage a hip and get upright here. But a lot of people felt like this is what Marvin was going to try to do. Lean way heavily on Holland and make these takedowns, you know, 1 per round really count.
That's exactly what anyone should try to do, though, if they fight Kevin after seeing the Brunson fight, because he's so dangerous when you're forced to stand with him. And you've seen that with Vettori, right? He's been able to touch Vettori up at times. So for Marvin to get this takedown right now has been so smart. He's got to watch his arm, though.
I think for Holland, the question is, should he work his getting off the mat defense or should he work his takedown defense? You know, which is more important, DC, do you think, for Holland? Because when he gets taken down, he tends to spend a lot of time here. If he just stops the takedown in general, then he doesn't have to worry about this so much, right? So they're both hard disciplines, but which is harder to learn?
I think you gotta work on avoiding, right? You gotta work on not getting here, because the ground game is developed, right? He's a black belt. He isn't green in the ground. It's a matter of grappling and fighting, not just doing jiu-jitsu. It's very difficult, but you got to learn to defend right away. But, I mean, look at Marvin Vettori, man. He's postured up over him. He's got enough height to generate power. He's keeping himself out of danger, and he's just got him stacked up against the side of the octagon.
And he's comfortable. He's not using any, he's not in any kind of danger.
Fantastic job of just moving him back towards the side of the octagon.
Big strike got through there for Marvin. You see the round 2 total strikes, many of these landing on the ground, of course.
Yeah, Vettori's made the right adjustment in shoving Holland against the fence and going for the takedown and then ground and pounding out. This is what you want to do to have a
little frustration there, Daniel, from Kavin Holland. Cut seems manageable, but perhaps as the doctor comes in to look at it, Holland worried about that eye potentially shutting.
Absolutely, yeah, and it is shutting. You know, but that's...
Can you see out of the left eye? Can you see out of the left eye?
What do you mean? Can you see out of your eye?
I see you.
Okay, that's it.
It's that constant right hand, just constantly
in the fence to keep them off your back. Those little things, the tiny little...
he's Marvin setting up an arm triangle here. Look at that. Marvin setting up an arm triangle. Oh, he's going to get it. He's got to just get his head down, and he's got to get off the mount.
So it's a little bit high, but...
Oh, he's got it, man.
Now it's tight in
That's
there.
tight. It's over.
Yeah, that's tight.
Holland trying to survive.
That's going to be so tight.
There's a lot of time left.
I don't understand, you know, Marvin's got to drop the shoulder, right? His body needs to drop, pressure into the neck. A lot of people believe that this choke is a squeeze. It's more of a choke on the outside of your neck. The blood starts to go to the head and everything. It's tough to deal with.
This is a tough one to get because it blows your arms out and wears you out, and there's a tiny bit of space where you can breathe if you don't get the blood choke right on the carotid artery. And the guy on bottom can make it seem like he's in trouble and wear out the top guy's arms. And that's what Holland was doing there. He's kind of buying his time, but Vettori...
Holland's eye is really damaged. That was a nice elbow in the first round that landed along the side of the octagon that got him.
Well, his whole posture's different.
Yes.
His hands are different. Everything's different right now. He didn't want to admit
no. Some adversity to begin his 2021. And as great a fight as Derek Brunson fought 3 weeks ago, you know, Holland was over those 20. Certainly has the athlete to do it, fatigued or otherwise.
Fight.
We have hit the main event rounds, round 4 of a possible 5, and a big early land by Vettori.
He never broke the hands. He turned his back to the fence, and again, Marvin just kept his hands locked. It's beautiful by Marvin Vettori, but again, it's just like not recognizing. It's not Holland doesn't have the understanding of it.
It's basic stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of basics. But Marvin Vettori is putting him in these positions, right? Yeah. Marvin's fighting a fantastic fight. You know, we always talk about what you're the favorite, you're supposed to win and all that. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Is do what you're supposed to. And Marvin Vettori is doing right now what he's supposed to do.
So 8 takedowns now on 13 attempts unofficially.
Postures up and starts to land strikes.
Nice job by Vettori to minimize anything coming back with those up kicks. Final seconds here of round 4. Holland once again proving very hard to hurt or put away.
So long. He's so long, John, right? So when you're punching through arms and legs and then moving. That's why I said it's to Marvin's credit that he's beating this version of Kavin Holland in the way that
Teddy Lucio and that corner has managed that Holland cut pretty well.
He's still got a lot of energy in him, Holland.
Oh, yeah.
He's completely in this fight. It's not over. So, Vettori, be safe.
Oh.
Be careful here.
Oh, right hand. Oh, he hurt him.
Yep.
But then, look at this.
No takedown.
Oh, it's the wrapping. It's the wrapping. Like, it's, you know, when you watch him wrap, right? When he wraps, Dom. Instead of getting his back and stuffing, he wraps around the body. Right? That's what happened with Ngannou initially. Ngannou would wrap the body, but instead now he's learned to stuff the head and cover. Kavin Holland has to learn a few of those simple things to learn to defend.
And you saw when Derek Brunson got tagged in round 2 in that main event 3 weeks ago, immediately was able to reverse course, get Holland down, and you saw Rafael Cordeiro sort of exhale a little bit after Vettori got him down a moment ago.
They've worked really hard. They've been diligent in trying to get Marvin Vettori into the spot. So to fight so well for 4 rounds and then get to the 5th round and Holland land something that ended, it would be devastating for them.
And it's a little bit of a balancing act, Dom, I would think, in terms of the risk, right? Because you put Kavin Holland away emphatically. Maybe you're fighting for the title, but you got to win, man. I mean, you got
to get locked for Vettori, and he's just taking advantage of that easy adjustment.
So that is 10 takedowns on 15 attempts for Marvin Vettori. That ties the UFC middleweight record held by Aaron Simpson and Bartosz Babinski.
Beautiful pass there to the left by Vettori, right in the half guard.
Let's work. Keep walking. Let's work.
No question that Holland's a talented fighter, and he's extremely good. These are small adjustments he's got to make in his takedown defense realistically.
Well, ultimately, that's the only thing that's costing him right now, right, is his inability to stop middleweight, where you're fighting big, strong guys.
Now Vettori has Holland mounted again.
He's gone to this position multiple times. Kavin Holland is so comfortable with you in an arm triangle choke that Marvin should just ignore the fact that he seems to be setting it up. He needs to just drop ground and pound on Kavin Holland. Oh, you hear Holland's corner say stand him up. Like, hey, listen, if Herb let Jim Miller and Selecki lay like they did, then these guys
not standing this up. No. I mean, he's mounted. To stand him up while he's mounted. There it is. Now there's a chance. He took back on the double.
Vettori always square with the weight record.
He's not parallel. He's not turning his feet parallel with the fence. He's square.
He's getting taken down.
It makes it easy. Yeah,
Vettori's going to come off to the left, and there it is. Just come off to his left and drive. And now Marvin Vettori, right? Now he has the record, John?
11 takedowns. That's a new middleweight record. Less than a minute now to go.
Man. You know, when they look back at this, though, the team of Marvin Vettori, they're going to be very happy with what they saw. They saw their guy go into a very difficult situation with a very game, tough Kavin Holland, the guy that came here prepared to win.
And I think the question beckons, as I alluded to about a minute ago, is this performance enough to get him that rematch and a championship opportunity against Israel Adesanya?
You know, I think that you just have to look at the division.